What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make a granny chapter 1. This is part 2, and in this one, we're going to be finishing off this entire floor, which includes the outside room there. And yeah, here's all of the rooms. It's these 3, and then it's also this guy out here. And yeah. And we'll also do this room, but we won't connect this quite up down here, but that'll be the probably start of the next part if I remember, which I should, hopefully. And anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Let's make some more rooms. We'll start with kind of the layout. I say kind of for whatever reason. I don't know why I said it, but we're just doing the layout. You want to get out the following: spruce planks, smooth quartz blocks, spruce trap doors. I think spruce stairs. I think those were what I needed as well. Birch wood. That's a weird one, but you're gonna have to not trust my process. There's no trusting here. Dried kelp block, because I said so as well. Where is it? Oh, it's in construction, if for those of you bedrock users who have literally never used that block in your life. Because I've used it maybe once. Spruce door. And anything else that actually makes sense? I don't believe so. We'll start on the right and we'll just work our way around. So if you start from this front right-hand pale moss block on the, I guess, main floor, you want to extend it to the right with, I love counting, 9 smooth quartz blocks. Just like so. You then, I'm not even going to give you a number here, I'm just going to tell you, coat the left wall here with where the pale moss is with smooth quartz. Okay, so when you're doing the walls here, I tell you to go back until the end of the pale moss, which would be here. You want to go 1 block further back and then in. So when you, and you can just count the side to make sure, once you actually seal off these rooms here, they should be 8 in total. I tried to just, actually not 8, sorry, I don't know where I got 8 from. It should be 10 in total on the inside, 12 including the corners. I was just gonna, like, adjust this later in the video, but because that'll also screw up the back room, and it'll make this one thinner if you end up having a problem like that. So yeah, just make sure that goes out a block further, and if I happen to have a situation where I say it in the middle of, like, a clip or something, or mention it, just ignore it, because this will correct anything that may have gone wrong. And then at the backmost one, you'll extend it right with a smooth quartz. Gap of 2. Smooth quartz, and then you'll end up just connecting that wall to the other wall. Because that makes sense. You should have this regardless. You want to copy that on the other side, I believe. I think they're the same. Let me confirm. Yeah, so if you take the front pale moss here on the left side, you're going to go out with 9 smooth quartz. And then again, you're coating the right wall, which does have some spruce in here. Right with a smooth quartz. Gap of 2. 5 smooth quartz, I guess, and then you'll just connect forward from there instead. That makes more sense. And that'll give you, it looks like a set of arms. I don't like that it looks like a set of arms, but it does. So we do have to sometimes be willing to accept these facts. On the, I guess, both left and right side, you'll take these back corners of smooth quartz and extend them back by 7. And everything should line up. I'm just going to make sure that it's 4 on this side, because God forbid I don't check and it's like 7 or something, or 5. You'll then connect the backmost smooth quartz blocks together here, and that'll give you the layout of literally the rest of this floor, other than the outside area, but that's technically on a different Y level anyway, so it obviously doesn't count. You'll fill in the floor here with spruce planks in all of these rooms. I'm going to go directly under the smooth quartz and just fill between the lines at that point, because why not? Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. I'm kind of tempted to record 2 of these today, but I already recorded a chapter 2 part before this. And if I have to record a chapter 2 part and 2 of this, that just feels like a lot for my tiny little brain. So I might not, but also, like, it's tempting, because imagine the grind of saying, yeah, I recorded 3 videos today. Could you imagine the shocked people? Nobody would be shocked, probably. I used to do 3, like, for Chapter 2 at the beginning religiously. Like, I'd record 3 back-to-back parts for Chapter 2 during the game station. I can no longer do that because, I don't know, I just don't have the patience for that. Anyway, each smooth quartz block from this point, you will extend up with... We're gonna say 2 rows, and I mean, it is 2 rows, but there's some weird things that happen here because of the outside area specifically. That's kind of the main root of every single one of our current problems that I'm considering. But, yeah, we'll go with it because might as well. Just know I'm not happy about no, but there's a couple things that are weird here. I missed a side, that's good. I almost said that was the end of it, but it was not the end of it because there's an entire another side. You should have this. Over each of the 2x3 doorways, you'll place spruce trap doors just like at the top half. I believe you want both rows on the walls where they're double layered, which would just mean you're bringing these over by a block as well there. And you're going to have to crouch place these in some capacity. You can crouch and fly at the same time, and it makes you just stay in the air. That's why if you ever see me like doing this and I go down and stop, that's why. I guess. So one of these rooms is not, well, I guess none of them are like the others because none of them have the same layout. But one of them is particularly not like the others for a different reason. The left one in particular, which is the kitchen, if you're familiar with the game. You want to make the entire ceiling of it birch wood facing basically front to back on the build. You can go on top of the front wall, but I would not go on top of the right wall. Yeah. Or left wall, sorry. Right wall you should go on top of. But yeah, this wall stays as it is because you can see that from the outside, and you know how I feel about that. I gotta make it perfect. What is it? Is it these two? That is weird that it... Wait, you can't even do that, can you? What? But, okay, how does that happen? That's a direction you can't get the log to face normally. That's very weird. I know why it's doing it, but it's a little bit odd regardless of if I know or not. Anyway, whatever the hell that was aside, the rest of the rooms you're just making these ceiling spruce planks. And again, do not go on top of the back and left wall, I guess? You can go on some of the back wall. We will, I think, later anyway have to for some of the rooms. But there is again, the outside area is just messing with us right now. And we're letting it mess with us. We're taking it. I don't know. But again, I would go on top of the inner walls because it's nicer to have most of the floor in anyway that we know we're going to have to add later. So that saves us approximately 0 steps. I'll coat this wall and also the right side because I can. Is that a missing block? Just one? Okay. Sure. Once you've done that, you should be trapped outside of your build because every good builder traps themselves outside of a build at least once per day. I'm way higher than that, but I'm not going to get into that. So you want to take, I guess there is a center. In the front right and front left rooms on the outer walls, you're going to, I guess, just find the center 2 blocks and break them. It should be, and in those rooms you want to find the 2 block center and you're going to just break a 2x2 at the top. Which will give you this, kind of. You see you have 4 on either side visible, or 4 rows of smooth quartz either side. You want to break towards the back of the build another row. Thankfully, for this particular portion, I don't believe this matters. So, good lord, above either window, if you don't, you're just going to place spruce planks. I know I said not to go on top of the left wall, but here you can. And then, if you're looking at the window towards your other granny house, because you definitely have 2, you want to crouch place spruce trap doors opened up against either side of smooth quartz, like so. I'll do the other one in a sec, but the other thing you want to do is on the outside. Just like, I guess, crouch place off the spruce trap doors, dried kelp blocks, and then join them in the center, which will give you this. Just gives you the, like, lines through the window, and looks a little bit nicer than just some blank black concrete or something. I've started doing this a lot. I think Playcare I did it in first, believe it or not. Even though I legitimately just built Playcare, like, a week before this, probably. But, you know. Nice. You should end up with this. In the back two, well, I guess it's one large room, but we're not worried about that particularly. And so in this very large back room, you want to leave 4 rows off of the left and right, and then break the next 3 on, again, the top 2 rows specifically, which will give you this. You're doing a similar thing on both that you did before, except you're only doing the exact same thing on the right side. You're doing the spruce at the top, spruce trap doors open up against these sides, and the dried kelp from the outside. The other window you will require to also get out diorite and dark oak trap doors, and whoopsies. For this one, instead of placing spruce planks above the window, you're going to place diorite. And then you'll still place the spruce trap doors on the sides of the window, open up against these smooth quartz. And from this point, you're going to take the trapdoors on the left if you're looking at the window. And again, crouch placing off them by a block to the outside. You'll just place dark oak trapdoors, open these same. And then I would place a block off the bottom of this behind it, just to kind of demonstrate this trapdoor. And off of the left of that block, I'm going to place another dark oak trapdoor, open up against it. And you see it'll kind of give you 2 trapdoors that are diagonally touching each other, but aren't actually in line. And you kind of see what that gives you. Just makes it look a little bit more open. That's really good for leaning sometimes. It doesn't work every time, because obviously you have a lot of limitations with that. But it works a lot of the time, so that's about enough for me. Anyway, heading back inside, you should have this very long wall of smooth quartz between the 2 doorways. You should be able to leave 7 from either side, and on the bottom row of the wall, place 2 spruce trap doors in the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yes, you see I have 2 spruce trap doors open up against the wall there. This is on the front wall, particularly of this area. You'll extend the trapdoors up a row, and then up with upside down spruce stairs from there. Copy that on the actual back wall. And then the upside down stairs at the top you'll connect together with spruce trap doors all along the ceiling. The corners aren't actually curved like that, but I needed to do something to make the trapdoors work, and that was just the only thing that made sense. There's a couple more things we can do. The first is the door. So if you're looking the way I'm looking, you want to turn around, and you're going to be looking at the actual back left corner of the house. And you want to, on this wall of 6, break the full middle 2 rows of spruce, or smooth quartz, excuse me. And if you head to the outside on the, what'll be the left half from the inside, but right half from the outside, you'll place a spruce door like so. On the inside, you're going to crouch place spruce trap doors on every, basically filling in the rest of the 2x3, and they should open flush with the door. The gap above you'll fill in with diorite. We won't really worry about the diorite just yet. That'll be when we actually do the outside, but we're not there yet. So there's a couple furniture things we can do, and we're going to kind of just run around and do what we can, and then come back later and finish. So from the back left-hand corner of the build still, you want to count right by 3 and forward by 1 and place a spruce stair. Leave a gap of 1 extending right and place another. These should face forward. In front of either of these, you'll leave a gap of 2 and place another stair facing backward. So you kind of have this setup of chairs. They're eating on a glass table. It's just so clear you can't see it. Totally. On the back wall, to the right of this window, you're leaving a gap of 2, and you should also be 2 away from that because you want 2 spruce planks on the floor. So it'll be 2 off either side. What I would actually do instead, though, is replace those planks with upside-down spruce stairs that face into each other like so. And then extend them up with 2 more sets of still upside-down spruce stairs still facing towards each other. Off the bottom 2x2, I'll place a set of spruce doors that kind of face just, or that are just off of the stairs and, you know, would open away from each other, or open like an actual door would. And then above those, you'll place spruce trap doors open up against the top stairs. Opposite of this, there is a shelf, so if you look towards the front and this doorway here, which is to your right, you're going to take the middle row of smooth quartz, and just left of it, you'll count left an additional 2 to the 3rd block in total, and place 4 spruce trap doors off the top half of this block, going left. That is all we can do in the back area, and that's really mostly what we can do with the rest of the floor, except for in the kitchen. In the kitchen, you want to coat the entire ceiling of birch wood with spruce trap doors that face whatever way you want. The only exception, which is a weird one, is the front left-hand corner block. Just leave it open. Like, you could technically fill it in. We'll just have to break it later, so it doesn't matter. Actually, there's a few others we need to break anyway, so you might just want to fill it in. That one I'll particularly tell you. The others I won't, because they're a secret. Even though you'll figure them out in about right now. So yeah, you should have this. Get rid of, I guess, dark oak trap doors and get out calcite. And starting from the front left-hand corner, you're going to leave a gap of 3 extending back, and you'll place the following. You'll place 2 diorite, thanks game, 2 diorite, 2 calcite, diorite, 2 calcite, and then you should be in the corner where you'll extend right with a calcite and then 2 more diorite. Above these final 2 diorite, you'll break these spruce trap doors and just place diorite off the underside of the birch wood. And yeah, that's a good point to clear our inventory. How's that one sound? And get out the following. Oak stairs. Oak slabs. Gray carpet. Levers. Pale oak slabs. I just forgot for a sec. Okay. Warped planks. Warped door. Paintings. And anything else that makes sense? Not really, to be honest. So yeah, we'll just leave it there. First off, on the back left-hand corner of this counter, you're going to place a pale oak slab on top of that calcite. On every other block, you'll place gray carpet. In the center of the window here, you want to place a lever, and it wants to be powered or flicked on or off or whatever, so it is pointed to the right like so, and that is the sink. If it ends up doing anything weird with these trapdoors, just kind of flip them back. Although I guess if you do that, it will in fact, you know, power them. That looks funny, actually. In the front left-hand corner of the room, you're going to place 3 warped planks extending up. You'll have to break a trapdoor for it. Off the right half, you'll place a warped door, and the handle should automatically face backwards, which is good. If you're in Bedrock, that is. I know Java you can... I don't know if you can choose in that situation, though. I'd assume you can. Directing your attention to the front wall, you're going to be on the 4th smooth quartz left of the warped door, which would be this one right here, which is also, that is the fridge, by the way. And off this block, you're going to place a 1x2 painting. Doesn't matter what it is, I just would like, or would prefer that they're all different, at least personally. I was going to make them all the same at first, and I realized that was lame, so I changed them, but... Heading back to look towards the actual back, you want to take this frontmost diorite on the counter and count right by 3. And on this block, you're placing an upside-down oak stair facing back. Right of it, you will place another, and then either of those slabs, or stairs, excuse me, you'll bring back with 2 upside-down oak slabs, and then an upside-down oak stair facing forward. And yeah, there are no... Actually, there's 1 painting in the back room. So if we head back and to the right, you want to cross over the little middle wall boundary thing. And on this wall, you want to be 3 off of that doorway and 2 off of the spruce little thing there. And you want a 1x2 painting. Just, I would say go 3 off of the left side and then place the 1x2. Because the 1x2 what makes you 2 off of the right. Although I guess you're placing it from the middle, technically. Heading forward, if you head to this, I guess again, the room in front, you want to take the furthest right smooth quartz in the doorway here, which is this one, and count left by 3, and off of this block, you'll place a 1x2 painting. Oh, I didn't have that one already, that's fine. And those should be all of the paintings, and also all we can do. So we'll actually boomerang back, we'll do this room right now, and then we'll finish with the back stuff. So, at least for this floor. I don't know if it's the end of the part because I've lost track of time, but I feel like it should be just based on my general instincts and feelings for these. But anyway, you want to start by getting out the following. Lectern. Multiple, I guess. Pale oak stairs. Iron doors. You need iron trap doors, but we need to /fill them, so I'm not going to grab them. Because I would like to save that inventory slot if we need it. Blackstone stairs. Pale oak signs. End rods. Blackstone slabs. Polished tough, tough stairs, not polished tough, and tough slabs. So, first off, in the front right-hand corner of this room, you want to place a lectern facing backward. Left of it, you want another. This is how I made the desks, because they look the same, pretty much. In the back right-hand corner, you're just placing a blackstone stair facing forward. Off the left of it, you want a pale oak sign, and then to the left of that, a block off of this spruce plank. You'll place 2 end rods extending up, and then a blackstone slab. On the left wall, it should be an even number, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. You'll be 3 off the left and the right, and you'll place upside down pale oak stairs facing towards each other in those center 2 blocks. Extend them up by 2 rows so they connect into the ceiling. And then off the bottom set, you want a set of iron doors where the handles face towards each other. It is recommended you have an elytra on for this, but you can just break the ceiling if you need. I'm going to go into elytra mode, and I'm going to literally stand on top of this door. And I'm going to do the following command. I'm going to do /set block. That's not how you spell set block. I guess I should have just, whatever. Tilde, tilde, tilde. Iron underscore trap door. Bracket. Open underscore bit, in quotations, equals true, comma, direction equals, and then I don't know which one, so I'm just going to get 0 at first, and then I'll close the bracket. And I can see that is not it, so I'm going to presume that it is 1, because I think it goes like opposite. And yes, it is 1. And then I'll crawl my way over to this block, and I'll do the exact same command, and there it is if you need it again. I know it's kind of a lot. You can, if you want, to just use pale oak trapdoors instead. But I like it this way better, so. This does technically have windows on it. And what better way to display windows in a block that does have holes in it? I almost said doesn't. You want to head back to this room and take the back right-hand corner, and you're going to place a tough block in it. Just use slabs for that. Extend it left by 3. And then off either side one, you'll place a tough stair facing towards each other like so. In the center, place a couple of tough slabs. Take the leftmost tough stair and count forward 2 and right by 1 and place a tough stair facing right. I am dying. That's fine, surely I'll survive. You can then clear your inventory and get out the following. Birch trap doors. Birch stairs. Brown terracotta. Dark oak signs. End rods. Stone slabs. Dark oak fence. And dark oak trapdoor. The poor diorite table is just... It's the last thing we're going to do legitimately in this floor. From the singular tough stair here, you're going to count left by 2 and place a birch trapdoor facing towards it. From that trapdoor, you'll count forward to the wall and place an upside down birch stair facing back. Heading towards the corner, you'll place another one, and then off the sides of those, you'll place birch trapdoors open up against the stairs like so. If you were sitting on the couch staring at this blank, whatever it's called, I guess it's a TV stand, you'll take the left stair and place a brown terracotta on top of it with a dark oak sign on the near side from it. You could use an item frame or something, I just thought the dark oak sign worked better. Directing our attention back to the back wall, you want to take this singular tough stair again and count left from it by 5. Then count back by 2 and place 2 end rods extending up, and then actually it's a polished tough slab, not a stone slab, I apologize, on top. So you can make that switch. I just looked at it briefly and was like, yep, nope, that's a stone slab. And continuing to head to the right, you want to kind of almost head back into the kitchen, and then you're going to take the block to the right of the doorway or this pillar of the wall. From this bottom smooth quartz, you will count back by 2, or back by 3, actually. And, no, it is back by 2, oh my goodness. And then right by 2 and place a dark oak fence with a trapdoor on top. You can then get rid of, I guess, everything and get out diorite stairs and diorite slabs. And between both sets of these spruce stairs going essentially front to back, you're going to place upside down diorite slabs, which will connect together to give you a 3x2. Off the sides of those, you'll place upside down diorite stairs facing away from these slabs, which will give you the full table. Alright, so that is this floor done for the most part. I guess the only thing left is the outside area, which we can actually do next. So if you head to the outside, we have a couple things we want to touch up first. You can start by getting out the following. Spruce stairs, quartz bricks, and diorite. That's really all we need to start here. And first off, underneath the doorway to leave here, which is this, or I guess to get out, you want to place spruce stairs underneath. If you have spruce planks under the walls for kind of the rest of this, you want to replace it with quartz bricks. You need to go 1 block further than the window on the back here, and just 2 blocks forward from the door. So it'll be here, you see the second block in front of the door, obviously this whole corner here, and then I'll go 1 past the window, so there. Similarly, you're doing the same thing with the diorite. The only thing that's different here with the diorite is you want to go 1 further, at least on the, going forward, so from the door side. The other side, we technically have a flat wall. I'm going to go a block further just for the point, but you don't need to. I'll get rid of those 3 because those really all we needed them for, and get out the following. Rooted dirt, birch wood, oak wood, spruce planks. That is not spruce. There we go. Spruce trapdoors, I guess. Spruce door. Spruce stairs, again. Pale oak fence, and dark oak fence gates. So, starting off, which side? We'll take this side over here. So you want to take, not this quartz brick, but the spruce plank just to the side of it, and you're going to go kind of down diagonally left with a rooted dirt, like so. There is technically grass here, but it's so pale, I just decided, or so, it's kind of gray, I guess, but I decided rooted dirt made the most sense. But anyway, from this point, you're going to extend the rooted dirt to the left by 3. And then from there, you want to place 6 spruce planks. And you see you'll be pretty much on the edge of the grid, or you will be on the edge of the grid if you have it. Not that that particularly matters for most of you. You'll then go back from there with 5 spruce planks. Then 13 rooted dirt. And we'll end up wanting to bring this across, but first I'm going to head back over here, and it'll be the second row over from the window, this spruce plank. I'll go down diagonally out with a rooted dirt. And then I want to extend it back by 10. And you should be able to bring this over, and it should connect perfectly to the final rooted dirt over there, which will give you this kind of almost square. It might be a square, actually, ignoring the, corner taken out, but I don't think it is. No, it's a little bit longer this way. Anyway, you want to take the 2 spruce planks here and just kind of bring them in until they connect at a point, which will give you a 6x6 square, actually, overall. And you'll fill in the middle of that in with more spruce planks. The rest of the floor is just rooted dirt. There is technically an area we do have to, we have a hole in the floor, but we're not worried about it yet. It's a 1x1 hole, so, it won't take much effort to break in, and that's about all we need to do for it anyway. Plus, obviously, place the trapdoor, which is why we're not going to break it yet, because I want to place the trapdoor when we break it. This might be the most, I think, complicated part. I'm not going to lie, and it's still not even that bad. It's a couple rooms with some interesting things going on overall, but this one isn't particularly bad. Nice. On top of the outermost spruce planks, which is going to be, we're not like worried about this inner edge of these spruce planks, only this outer edge, like to, I guess, create the square or rectangle. You're going to bring each one up with 3 oak wood and then a birch wood. Just like so. Each rooted dirt, you're just bringing up with 4 birch wood. Which is fun, as in the outer ones. Not every single one, because that would just create a giant cube for no reason. And we don't want to do all that. But yeah. I guess I won't record too. It's been quite the video for sure. I thought it was longer than it was. It was 25 minutes, and I was like, yeah, no, that'll be when it ends. But no, I realized it was only 25 minutes, so I had to come back and finish it. Finish off the 15 minutes, which I guess we have 10 left now. At least until the 40-minute mark. I was like, if it was like 35, would have been like, okay, whatever, but I don't know. 25 is just so short compared to the rest of the parts. Anyway, you showed up this. We're going to kind of ignore a little bit for now because there's some weird things that happen. On each outer spruce plank, though, on the inside this time, you'll bring them as well up with 3 oak wood. You do not want the birch wood on top this time, though. That was just an exception for that particular part. Nice. If you are kind of inside of this space, you want to look towards the back wall, and you're going to be 2 off of the left and 1 off the right, and you're going to break a doorway. If you head to the outside, you'll place a spruce door in it, but the handle kind of wants to face towards the actual house itself, like so. If you're on the inside again, you're going to take the right wall, which is this one, and you'll just break the very center 2 oak wood and replace them with spruce stairs facing away from each other, or towards each other, I guess, like so. Which will give you a little window. Above the oak woods that don't already have blocks on top of them, you're going to place spruce trapdoors. And then if you just kind of stand up here and crouch, you can just fill in the rest of the ceiling with spruce trapdoors in line with this. Nice. From this point, I think we can do the top of the fence. Yeah, so this part's a little bit weird. You're going to have to trust my process with it. We're going to go around and just like mark something, and then we'll go from there. So starting from the front wall here of the birch, you're going to leave the first 3 open, and on the next one you'll place a pale oak fence. You'll then go all the way to the corner, and not on the corner birch wood, but 1 off either side of it. You'll place... Oh my god, more pale oak fences, I apologize. Going back, you'll leave 3 birch wood, pale oak fence. You'll then leave 6 open, pale oak fence. Then leave 4 open, pale oak fence, and then that should be just like the block before the corner, so you'll just count right from the corner and then place a pale oak fence there. Then you'll leave a gap of 4, fence, and then you'll leave gaps of 3 and place fences until you're 1 off the corner again. Yet again, you will switch sides and 1 off the corner. Here you'll place a fence, gap of 4 moving along, fence, and you should end with a gap of 4 there. Extend each pale oak fence in by 1. Some of them will connect in the corners, or I guess the corners will connect on the corners, which is fine. It should do that, and the rest will just kind of be sticking out. Again, you're going to have to crouch place for this, but between those innermost pale oak fences, you're going to crouch place dark oak fence gates, kind of going around this inner row until you hit a wall or whatever. And you want to make sure you're inside the birch wood by your row. And yeah, that'll be like the barbed wire. You could use cobwebs for this if you wanted. That's obviously the normal, I think, barbed wire usage that people do. But technically it's not white, it's black, so... Or it might even be more gray than black, I don't know. I don't look at barbed wire generally very much, but... And it does have these, like, white rods in the middle, hence the pale oak fences. At least this does. And yeah, I just think fence gates work better, but... That's my personal opinion. I might be the only person to actually use fence gates, though, so... Take what you will from that, I guess. There's a couple more things we can actually... Well, we need spruce trapdoors for a couple things, but I feel like it would just make more sense to not even worry about it and do it later. However, what we can do is just other stuff in general. So clear your inventory and get out the following. Oak planks, diorite, diorite slabs, iron door. Sorry, I didn't warn you. Spruce trapdoor. It's one of those that just came on me. I don't know. It's weird. Warped sign. Andesite slabs. Oak fence. And I think that's everything we need for this particularly. It's weird. I'll tell you that much. So you want to head to the far side where kind of the window is. You're going to be looking at this birchwood wall in particular. You want to, from the very corner rooted dirt here, the front, or I guess back left corner we'll call it, you'll count right by 3 and place a diorite. Extend that forward diagonally left, forward, forward diagonally right, forward, and then you'll count right by 2 and back by 1 and place a diorite. Extend back, back diagonally left, back. On the frontmost diorite on either side, you'll bring up by 1. And then the diorites behind them, you'll bring up with upside down diorite slabs. The remaining diorites, you'll just bring up normally. On the very inside here, this top diorite, which is this guy at the back, you'll place a warp sign on. And you'll kind of place on top of the rooted dirt for the floor, just spruce trapdoors moving forward. And you want 4 of them in total. You kind of want like a squiggly line, as you see I have right there. From this point, it's weird to place, but in front of the spruce trapdoors, you want an iron door here. And the handle actually wants to face into this row of diorite to the side of it, so I'm going to just break it, and it'll actually flip itself if I do that, which is nice. Off the bottom diorite on either side, you'll place an oak fence extending out, with an oak plank in the floor below it. Extend those oak planks in by 1, which means the door is going to break, and we'll have to replace it. That's just the most... That is such a me thing to do. Okay, whatever. Crouch place on top of the iron door and andesite slab. And then you'll extend that slab back by 2. Left 1, back 2. Off either front corner of diorite, you'll place a couple of upside down andesite slabs in front, just like so. And you'll also place one in the back left here, just kind of chilling there. And yeah, that is your playhouse. It's not great, but it does the thing that it needs to do, which is nothing, actually. Get out an oak trapdoor, and to the right of the back row of this, you're going to be 2 rows off the playhouse and 2 off of the wall. You're going to break this rooted dirt and place an oak trapdoor. And this will lead into the, like, the yellow... I don't even know what it is. It looks like a sewer area almost, because it's kind of waterlogged. Anyway, clear your inventory again and get out the following this time. Spruce slabs. Cobblestone walls. Spruce fence. Oak slab. Spruce trapdoors again. Oak trapdoors. Oak sign. Pale oak hanging sign, and I feel like that's everything. I don't believe we need anything else. So anyway, directly below the window here, you want to place a 2x2 of spruce slabs. It'll be more towards the front half of the window, which is going to be, you know, towards, I guess, the left half from the front, but front if you were looking towards the playhouse still. From that 2x2 of slabs, you're going to leave a gap of 3, and on the 4th rooted dirt, you'll place spruce trapdoors open off the back half of the blocks. Up diagonally back, you'll place trapdoors open up against the front half, which will give you this again. These are just some random wooden pallets. I don't know why she has wooden pallets. That's, you know, I don't want to know. Take the front left oak plank on the playhouse here, and you'll count all the way left to the wall, and then forward by 1. You'll break this rooted dirt along with the one in front and replace them with spruce trapdoors like so. You'll do the same in the wall, except they'll be open towards the inside like so. So you have to place them from the outside. On top of the two in the floor, you're going to crouch, place spruce trap doors that are open to the right, which will almost give you like a U shape if it wasn't embedded in the wall halfway. And then off these sides, you'll place spruce trap doors opened up against just the, you know, side of everything like so, which will almost give you this little, like, cubby hole you can hide in. It looks like a crate almost. But above it, off these birch wood, you'll place spruce trap doors up against the birch, and it'll give you the chest. You could technically do it like this, to where they open like that, and then you go in here and hide. What did I just... Oh, I was crouching, that's why. Oh, I placed one, didn't I? Yeah, I did. From that, anyway, well, I don't even know if we want to use that. I don't think we do. No, we're going to head to the front left-hand corner instead, which is actually the back left-hand corner, according to the front of the build, but we're calling it the front left because the playhouse is still the back, I decided. And from this rooted dirt, you're going to count right by 2 and back by 2 and place 2 cobblestone walls extending right. Bring them back a row. And then on the, we'll say the front right and back left cobblestone walls, you'll place spruce fences on top of. On top of those fences, you'll place spruce slabs, and then in the other 2 corners off of these spruce fences, you'll place upside down spruce slabs like so. And that is the well. I wouldn't replace the rooted dirt below, just because you can see it from the outside, and you really can't see the middle unless you, like, jump here. You can see it for, like, a second, but I don't think it's important enough to replace. Anyway, highlighting the rooted dirt under the back right cobblestone wall, you want to count right by 1 and back by 3. And place extending up 3 spruce fence. And then a spruce trap door on top. You extend that trap door right 1, and then you'll go back 1 from there. I'm not even going to worry about the direction, just, you know, as long as it's kind of facing the same way, it's fine. And then that back trap door you'll bring down to the ground with spruce fence. Between these 2 front spruce fences, you'll place upside down oaks, or the 2 bottom spruce fences, excuse me. You'll place an upside down oak slab here. And you want to do 2 things to this. You want to place an oak trap door on top, and then you want to place an oak sign off of the 2 sides that you can. Also, that's oak slab you'll bring back diagonally left with 2 more upside down oak slabs, which will give you this. Underneath the corner spruce trap door, you're going to crouch, and kind of at a 45-degree angle, you're going to place a pale oak hanging sign like so. Of course, this whole thing had to be rotated, because why wouldn't my life be made harder from it? But yeah, it should give you this, and that is the guillotine, or whatever. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. I don't generally go around saying that word in my free time. Anyway, head inside of this room, and we'll end in this room, and get out spruce stairs just quickly. We need that, along with whatever else you have. You still should have your stuff. And if you're looking at the back wall, if the door is the front, you're going to place a full row of upside down oak slabs there. The next row, the left 2 spruce planks just on the floor, you'll place oak trap doors. And then the next row, you're breaking the rightmost 3. Place a spruce stair facing left in the rightmost 1. And then on the right wall, in line with that, you're going to place oak trap doors off the top half of the bottom 2 blocks. In addition, you'll literally just need a white carpet and a lantern, and on the furthest left row of this oak slab row, you'll place a lantern with a white carpet to the right. If I remember, next part we'll do this pathway first, which shouldn't be too bad. I don't want to do it right now, but yeah. Also, in addition, by the way, before we actually end under this oak wood here, you do want to break this spruce plank. Well, we probably would do that anyway next part, but just so you know we have it now. But once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 2 of Granny Chapter 1 complete. So, yeah, that's pretty good progress to finish an entire floor, including an outside room. And, yeah, again, hopefully next part we'll be able to connect that one up, and then we'll start on the next floor up, which will then lead to pretty much everything else on this build. Except for the attics, I guess, but we'll get there eventually. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.